I ended up having a heart attack. And that heart attack, the cardiologist said, was probably stress related. I know we're all surprised. So, a stress related heart attack, which means your life gets to slow down, whether you want to or not.
And that changed everything. For a long time, everything looked like it was working. The business, the momentum, the constant movement forward. So you kept going. Longer hours, more pressure, because that's what it takes, right? But instead of feeling fulfilled, something felt off. And the hardest part is you don't slow down until you're forced to. Until your body finally says, enough. Stay with me. Get ready to reclaim your life, discover inspiring stories, practical tools, and the path to true happiness. This is Reclaim Your Life with Irina. Let's begin the journey. Today I'm joined by Lindsey Korell, an operations strategist and a former CEO who helps business owners redesign their companies so that business supports their life, not the other way around. After a major health crisis forced Lindsey to rethink everything, she learned how to build structure that creates freedom, well-being, and true independence. I'm so excited for this conversation because her story is such a powerful reminder that success doesn't have to cost us our health or our happiness. Welcome, Lindsey. It's a pleasure to have you.
Good morning, Irina. It's so wonderful to be here with you today.
Thank you. So please share with us in a few words, who is Lindsey?
Who is Lindsey? Well, complicated question. I am a former COO for many startup companies and operations specialist where I spent the last 8-9 years of my life hustling with startups and loved it. Had to say, I loved it. It was amazingly fun to be in the startup realm. It's one of those places where it's different every single day. And eventually it cost me, well, it didn't cost me everything, but it might have cost me everything. I ended up having a heart attack, and that heart attack, the cardiologist said, was probably stress related. I know we're all surprised. A stress related heart attack, which means your life gets to slow down, whether you want to or not. God gave you that little tap and said, this is the time that we're going to slow down. And you are going to either learn how to do everything you want to do in a calm and peaceful way, or you might not make it out.
Totally. Wow. Would you say that was your wake-up moment?
Absolutely. I had started a business and was working with women to build their businesses stronger, putting systems in place. And then this happened, and it brought to the forefront for me, not only I'm not the only one having health issues while building a business, but it also reminded me that if I'm going to help these women build these businesses, they need to build businesses that support them, support their health, their lives, and their families. Because we're starting to hit that space where if we don't take care of ourselves, we're not going to be around to enjoy our families or our businesses that we built. There's nothing worse than laying in a hospital looking at a ceiling tile, wondering if you are going to get out to enjoy anything that you have put your heart and soul in to build.
So true. What do you think your body was trying to tell you?
Slow down. Stop it.
That moment when life forces you to stop, that's actually what led me to write my book.
I'm a type A. I'm a driver. I love to go. But there's ways to accomplish a lot of things without putting in the long hours, without putting in all of the stress that we put on ourselves. As women, I think we put a lot of stress on ourselves that we don't really need to put on it. And we want to be the ones that step in and do everything. We're the saviors. We're the end all be all. And that's not what we're here for. We're here to help build up everybody else as well.
Totally. So many entrepreneurs feel trapped by the businesses they build. From your experience, why do smart, capable people end up becoming the bottlenecks in their own companies and in their own lives?
Well, I have to say I am completely guilty of this because when you build a business, you build it on what's your creation. It's your creativity, it's your thought. And occasionally or all the time, you think that you know the best and this is how it's going to be. And you want to touch every single decision, every single process in it. And when you do that, there's two things that happen. You're not setting the direction. You're actually doing all the tasks. And two, you're not giving your people the ability to shine, to use their skills and to actually help your business. So it's twofold. It's like you need to step back and just be the leader and let your people go. Let your people do it.
Totally, totally. So right, delegation is important, and you're right that we need to set direction as opposed to be in it all the time.
I do like that one.
On this podcast, we talk about reclaiming physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. What changes did you have to make across those areas to truly heal and rebuild in a sustainable way?
First off, when you have a heart attack, even I was in really good shape. I had worked out, took very good care of myself. So having a heart attack was a complete surprise to me. And I guess it always is when you have a heart attack. It's a surprise. But you go through the why me? What was the point of taking good care of yourself, working out every day, making sure you have the social interactions? What's the point if this is still going to happen? But once you do have that, you don't have a choice. You have to slow down. I mean, in the beginning, I needed at least 2 naps a day. So I'm your 5 a.m.er. I get up at 5. My first nap was at 10. My second nap was at 2. It forces you truly to think about what's important, who's important. And then I only had so much bandwidth, so much energy during the day. So I had to pick and choose what I could do each day. And there were one thing that was a non-negotiable. I had to sleep, eat well, and take care of myself, get outside, get some social. And two, I had clients. So I had to set up the time to make sure that I could still serve my clients and do a good job for them. So those were the only two things that I could do during that time frame. But it also makes you think about what's truly important. My family is important. Building this business in a sustainable way is important. And making sure that what I bring to the table for my clients actually helps them as well.
Totally. So what is your one non-negotiable in your day-to-day life?
Why not? Oh, people will tell you my nickname is Pumpkin because I want to go to bed. So I like to be home by 8:30, 9 o'clock, so I can be in bed early. Because I do get up early, but sleep is my number one non-negotiable. That is the most important thing for me at this point.
Totally, totally. We gotta recharge those batteries. You now help CEOs design companies that run without them at the center. What's one simple mindset or system shift that can immediately give someone more breathing room and freedom?
I think the number one thing is think about your people, the people that you've brought on to your business. And I mostly help small business owners that have between 5 and 20 employees, but you've brought those people on specifically for their skill set to help your business. And you have delegated tasks and operations that they are supposed to do. And in every single case, I would suggest go back and look at also the permissions that you have given them. Have you given them the permission to truly screw up and learn and make your business go forward? This permission is so important because this is telling them that I believe in you. I know you're going to do a good job. I'm not going to sit over here and watch your every single move and micromanage you. And I'm giving you reign to screw up. You're not going to get fired when you screw up, but I'm giving you that reign. And you will see your people blossom because they feel trusted and they feel like their ideas will be listened to and integrated into what your business is.
Totally. I love that. Thank you. What do you think were 3 biggest lessons of your wake-up call?
3 biggest lessons. My health is first. That means sleep, taking care of who I am. My family and my friends are second. It's so important to keep that social network around you. I was so surprised how many people came in and helped during after the heart attack. I mean, there's just some things you can't do. You can't lift over 10 pounds. It's like groceries become it's like groceries become ridiculous because you can't lift so many things. So those friendships and family become so important. And third, if you have to pare down, if something does happen to you, what are the most important things in your business that you can keep running, but have you delegated the essential pieces of your business to somebody else so that if the unthinkable happens, your business still runs and will still support you while you are going through these tough times?
Thank you. Yeah, those are important. I guess health is your wealth. You can have all the money in the world, but if your health is not there, what is that money going to do for you? Social
Absolutely.
connections and friends. Social connections and friends are as well are important because, yeah, like you said, in times when you cannot do anything, who is gonna come lift you up, help you in the time of trouble? I love that. Who did you want it to be when you were growing up?
I wanted to be a veterinarian when I was growing up.
Mm.
I grew up on a ranch. I grew up on a ranch and I wanted to help the animals that were around me. So that was where I started. Always wanting to help, but more from animals to people.
Did you get to do that any time in your life or not? That didn't come to be.
I've owned a lot of animals, yes. So I guess. No, trained veterinarian, no. But the practical veterinarian, yes.
All right, all right. Did you have a hero, somebody you looked up to growing up?
I looked up to my dad. My dad he still is a very hard worker and he kind of set the stage of how you work for yourself. He's a farm and ranch broker. And he every night after dinner, he would sit at the dinner table and open up the phone book and cold call. I can't even imagine doing that, just calling people out of the blue from the phone book. But it's like I saw him do that consistently day in and day out when I was growing up, and I saw what consistency did for his business. Although it probably didn't register when I was that young, what was happening and how that was building his business. But so he taught me that, and he always had faith in me. No matter what happened, he always built me up and had faith in me. So he was my hero growing up.
Awesome. I love that. What qualities of your dad do you want to emulate for yourself?
He's also a really good man. He's has a lot of friends and he he takes care of those around him. He makes sure that his friends are good place, his family's in a good place. So I want to emulate that. And he's just fun. He's got that persistently happy, optimistic attitude that always comes through. Even in the darkest times, he still has that happy, optimistic attitude. And sometimes I think that shows you might not even know that it's a really bad time because the optimism is still there.
I love it. I think it's important to be optimistic. So it forces you not to be stuck in the situation you're in. It forces you to look out for other possibilities.
Yes.
Awesome. During your, like when heart attack happened, what helped you kind of mentally? Was there any book you read that you can recommend that inspired your journey or, getting out of it?
I read a lot of books, and I did a lot of books on tape. Audiobooks were kind of my best friend because I'd spend a lot of time walking around the block, just trying to get back to the shape that I was in. Yeah, I'm reading Inner Excellence right now by Jim Murphy, and he is a Olympic coach. So he used to be with the Cubs, and he's an Olympic coach, and he talks about all about mindset and how it's an inner game first, that you can't focus on the obvious trappings of success. It really comes from inside first. And he just has such a nice way of looking at things, and he uses a lot of the NLP techniques in this book. So that's been a good book recently.
Awesome. I love it. And you're right, it all starts with a mindset, how we see life, what kind of beliefs we have, what model of the world we have. If a world is I call it, is a bad place or it's a good place, and that it all changes from that perspective. So awesome. I love it. What is your superpower if you had to pick one?
What is my superpower? My superpower is dig and fix. I know it sounds great, huh? I love to come into businesses and figure out what is not going quite right. Because a lot of times the problem is probably very small, but it's probably very, very well buried, very deep down. And just digging to figure out what happened. And like, I grew up on a ranch, so it's like I love to say, I like to shut the barn door and then go find the horses. So it's like dig to find the problem and then fix it. And a lot of times, especially with small businesses, we get stuck in the trap of this is how we've always done it. So there are times that we can find different ways to do the same things so that it becomes more efficient using more updated systems. AI is giving us so many more opportunities. That's what I would say my superpower is right now.
Nice. I love it. Problem solver. I am one as well, so totally can relate. Love it. If you can go back in the past, what kind of advice would you give younger Lindsey?
Calm down. Slow down. Slow down. It's all going to be all right. All throughout your life and ups and downs, I've always had enough, and my family has always been there for me, and my friends have always been there for me. And I spend way too much time stressing about stupid things that never happened, that wouldn't happen in 100 years. The likelihood is so small. We do that to ourselves. We worry about things that are just so improbable. It probably would never happen. And I wasted so much energy and so much time worrying about those things that I just didn't need to worry about. I think you've been there. I could tell from the look on your face.
Totally, yes. When we get anxious, we think about the future. And when we are obsessed about the past, we stuck in depression and we miss out on being in the present, which is right here, right now. And I think our life is so fast paced. We gotta consciously slow down and notice what's happening. Otherwise, a day can pass by and you don't even remember what happened in that day if you are not being present to your life,
Absolutely.
slowing down, paying attention.
It
Like
is
if you see, I know you love working in nature, appreciating the beauty of nature and how calming and grounding it can be. Or when you have a meal, savoring each bite, not just shoving food in your mouth, but really being there for the experience, I think makes life more worthwhile and interesting. What is one greatest accomplishment that you're proud of?
my greatest accomplishment. It has nothing to do with business. I have a bunch of nieces and nephews, and I've spent a lot of time with them, teaching them. I don't know if they learned, but teaching them lessons of business, of travel. I've traveled with them, taken them different places internationally to show them the world. And I'm really proud of how they've stepped up to open up their thinking about there's not just one way to look at the world, to think about the world. There's so many different nuances to what goes into a decision. And it's not about what is this box that I grew up in and this is how decisions are made. It's that, Europeans look at it this way and Peruvians look at it this way and Mexicans look at it this way. We all come to an answer, but there's not one direct way that we come to it. So it's like I would say my greatest accomplishment is opening the space for my nieces to really dig into how to make decisions, come up with new ideas, just to open their minds.
Totally, I love that. There is not one way to cut a bread, let's say, or solve a problem. There are always infinite number of solutions, and having that capacity or openness and being willing to be flexible and not be rigid and this is my way or the highway, but having that ability to explore and see from different ways, different culture perspectives, I think is so beautiful and also opens up like life is not just how we live over here, but look at all the different ways it can be. And it gives such a rich experience. Like in the end of the day, when you die, you cannot take your material possessions with you, but you can definitely take the experiences you had. And you've given so much already to your nieces and nephews. It's incredible. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
For listeners who feel stuck, burned out, or afraid that slowing down will cost them everything, what message of hope would you offer from the other side of your transformation?
I think you can work yourself out of anything, whether it's your health, just taking the time to really listen to your body and figuring out what is your next step. You are your best advisor, I think, and that you can figure out. Listen to what your body is saying, listen to what you need, and take it. You are your own best advocate, and you are your own advisor. So if you don't understand, ask. If you think you need something, tell people what you need, what you think would help you to get better. Two, if you're in business, you absolutely can build that business, bring it back to what you originally thought you were going to start. There's definitely ways to do it. Putting structure in will create freedom for you. So I guess structure on both sides, be your own best advocate, um, and really think about what works for you. You don't always have to take what other people tell you.
This is so true. I think we grow up conditioned to give away first it's figures of authority, parents who raise us, or educators in school. And then we outsource our health to the doctors and any financial problems to financial planner and accounting to the taxman, to the accountant, that we forget to listen to ourselves. We forget that we also have some capacity and learning and knowledge. And a first advocate is our body, who is always there, guiding us along, sending us messages. But sometimes we don't listen until something big happens that finally body was screaming, are you paying attention now? Here's a heart attack for you. Maybe before the heart attack, there were probably little telltale signs that you weren't paying attention to. They were like sweeping under the rug. And then finally your body screamed and said, are you listening now? You gotta slow down. You gotta take care of yourself. And not just with a heart attack, but in general, in any kind of life situation, we always have those little telltale signs, and it's up to us to notice, to slow down, to be present, to be able to hear the inner voice that we have inside of us.
The universe is always talking to us, and your body is always saying something to you. It's just sometimes you need to get smack on the head to hear it. And I'm sure many of your listeners have already had that tap on the shoulder from God where it says, you're going to slow down now. Slow down. Listen to that, because it can happen again. If you don't pay attention the first time, it will happen again.
Totally. Is there anything I haven't asked that you would like to share?
I would love for people to know that, there is a way to build your business so that structure will give you more freedom, and that freedom will give you the opportunity to either take care of more of yourself, more of your family. If you have aging parents that you need to take care of, putting structure into your business can help you do that, to help you create more space and more time. If you need somebody to take a look at it and help you out with that, I would love to talk to you about it.
Awesome. Thank you. If people would like to learn more about you, where would they go?
My website is dailyprinciple.com, and that is the principal, like your principal at your school, your pal. And if they want to do a quick review of how their business is doing, they can go to the independentsnapshot.com, and that will give them a 8-question, 3-minute, one clear direction, show them where they are and some of the things that they can do for their business.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll include everything in episode notes. It's been a pleasure to have you. Thank you for the work that you're doing. And thank you that you listen to your body. You slow down. You changed your life for the better. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the invite to come on your show. It's been wonderful talking to you.
If this episode stirred something in you, don't ignore it. Sometimes the smallest signals are the ones we overlook until they become something bigger. And maybe today is your moment to start listening. If you found value in today's episode, be sure to leave us a review over on Apple Podcasts and share it with someone who may benefit.